Like, for example, I know...
Some of them go to Westfield Community Center on West Broad Street, and some of them are affiliated with the Scotch Plains Senior Citizen, because they do a lot of trips.
Okay.
And they're involved with those trips.
Like what kind of a trip, for example?
Trips into New York to see a show.
They do.
You know, they go to see Radio City Music Hall, or they'll go to see one of the Broadway shows. So I know that they keep their membership in there with the Scotch Plains Senior Citizen.
That's great. That's great. And can you tell us a little bit about the Community Outreach Wellness Program?
We have a congregate service program here in our facility that dealt with meals, personal care, and housekeeping. But just to take it one step further, with the Center for Hope Hospice, in cooperation with them, we have home health aides who are overseen by a registered nurse from the Center of Hope Hospice. So if a resident needs home health care here, they can get that service through the Center for Hope and the congregate program. So it is subsidized through our congregate program, but overseen by the Center for Hope. And we also have medical monitoring, which is something new that we introduced in this past year, where a registered nurse from Center for Hope Hospice oversees the medicine that a person must take, and then one of the home health aides comes in more than once a day or whenever needed to make sure that that person takes the medication.
Okay. So, because in this particular facility, it is, can you just give the viewers and myself a little bit of an understanding as to the level of care needed by the residents here? Is this an assisted living? Is it an independent?
Okay. This is not assisted living, and it is not a nursing home. An independent apartment is just that. They have their own kitchen, living room, bedroom, and bathroom facility in their own unit.
Okay.
This is their home. We bring ancillary services so that we can fulfill our mission, and our mission is to keep people here as long as possible, aging in place.
Yes.
Aging in place with as many supportive services as we can provide. And so we started out with the congregate program to give them, meals, personal care, and housekeeping, which help a person stay in place.
Right.
They can live here with a live-in.
Oh, really? You can bring a live-in aid? Do you have any couples here? Any husband and wife?
We have many couples.
You do? But I would assume no children.
No. As a matter of fact, we do have 2 children living in the building.
Really?
We have a grandmother whose daughter died and her husband died and left 2 children. And so she has adopted those 2 children, and they are residents in our building with the grandma.
And they get back and forth to school?
And they get back and forth to school transported by the grandmother. Because
Excellent.
many of our residents drive.
They have their own cars. There's no restriction as far as that goes.
Not. Absolutely
And
not.
you mentioned that it's a federally funded facility. Can you give us a little bit of insight into that?
This building is a HUD building. In other words, when you move in here, you pay 30% of your adjusted income. That means after medical expenses have been deducted.
Okay.
And an allowance for being a senior citizen. Then it's 30% of your adjusted income. That's your rent. So no 2 people pay the same rent. It's always based upon the individual's income.
Okay.
So that it can be affordable, and this is what affordable housing is. And we have different size units for different size families. We have a mother and son, an adult son living here, so they're in a 2-bedroom unit.
Okay.
We have a studio.
Okay.
We have 36 studios, and we have 132 one-bedroom units.
So what the whole complex is how many altogether?
172 units.
Okay, and you're the executive director of this
Yes.
whole facility. How long have you been?
And the next building, which is an additional 131 units and funded differently.
How is that?
This is my 20th year, Joanne.
Well, congratulations, Ruth.
you.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's really, you should be
It's
very proud.
exciting, and I am very proud.
You should be, because looking around the facility, everything is immaculate from what we've observed, and you have a lot of good stuff
We pushed
going.
everything into a closet.
No.
You know, you do that before company comes.
No, and it's very pretty. The trees and the flowers, it's just a very, very,
Thank you.
very
We try
pretty.
to do that because the outside is as important as the inside, especially in the spring and summer. The benches, the picnic area, the gazebo. We've had concerts out in the gazebo. We have a 10-station exercise little kiosks
Really?
outside that was helped fund with Kessler Institute money and Westfield Foundation money.
Yes.
And the Westfield Foundation helped us fund our shop at Boynton.
That's fantastic. Yes.
Yes.
I could see that it's a very well-run organization, and as I said to other, groups that I've been learning about, there are so many people and groups in this town that want to give of their time and of their money, and when you see something run so well as this is, you can understand why more people are willing to pour more money into it, because it's really serving a wonderful need in this town. What would you say, now you've been here many years and probably have witnessed many changes, can you give me your opinion as to what one of the best changes that you've observed over the 20 years, or something that might stick out?
This changes. Every time we add a new service and the reaction from the residents is very positive, those are the special changes. Right now, I slowly have been adding showers, walk-in showers, and taking away tubs because it's been found to be much safer for the elderly.
Right.
So they have grab bars on 3 different sizes. They have a bench, they have a handheld shower, and this new addition to our apartments has been received very positively. And then we've added vanities and the higher toilet
Right.
and new light fixtures.
So I guess with
this
time,
is-
the experience shows you what's needed.
Oh, yes.
That's
and
great.
the change is more attractive, and at the same time, it's getting ready for those boomers that are coming along.
Yes, I know. And what about funding? Now, do you, as the executive director, are you overseeing the grant funds that you apply for? How do you go
Well,
about that?
HUD subsidizes our rent. So we charge, it's a market rent that is being paid.
Oh.
But the resident pays what they can afford, and HUD pays the difference.
Okay.
So our cash flow is fine. And any person who owns a unit or corporation who owns units like this must keep reinvesting in the units
okay.
and in the building. The infrastructure, we just did all the paving.
Yes, yes.
And
Yeah, it
as
must
you
keep.
saw the new lines and everything, that was a big project. But those are the kinds of things you have to keep reinvesting in the building to make it look like
Right.
it was just built rather than 30 years old.
Yeah, no, it does. It looks fantastic.